regardless of who you meet, you just have to put yourself in their shoes. So for me, I don't judge people by how they look, how they sound, how they act. I judge them on the person that they are. So I try and find interests, hobbies, things that they like, and then that way we can become like connected on a different level than just, acquaintances.
Three, two, one. Welcome to Standing Strong with Waylon and Ashley.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Standing Strong podcast. This is the 75th episode. Mind blown. Joining me is none other than the former co host, Tyler Peters. What's up, Tyler?
Waylon, I am just doing fantastic as always when I get the opportunity to join my friend, the host of this very program, Waylon Myers. So I am doing well. Thank you for asking.
Great to hear, Tyler. As you all know, Ashley has to miss this episode due to a work trip. Now, Tyler, you did the 70th episode with me. You also did my 50th episode with me when we had Lillian Garcia on. What does it mean to you that you are now on for the 75th episode?
I just feel honored, Waylon. I just think it's been an incredible ride for you, and I've been a small part of it. You and Ashley are just doing amazing things, and I do miss Ashley on here. She is doing a wonderful job, so I want to encourage her when she watches this episode. We miss you, but it's understandable. Life happens. Respectfully, you have just done a stellar job, my friend. You and Ashley, and everything standing strong has just uplifted everybody, including myself. There
Thank
you
you,
have it.
Tyler. That means
Oh,
a
you're very
lot to me.
welcome.
And now, everyone, we hope you enjoyed the 74th episode of Coney Cloak. What an amazing episode it was, and everything he shared. It was amazing. It was like one of the best ones yet that me and Ashley have did. And now we are gonna take it back to memory lane. Tyler, do you have an inspirational quote that you would like to share with the 75th episode?
I do, Waylon. This is a great quote, by the way. This is the inspirational quote, ladies and gentlemen, by the great Vince Lombardi, who was the famed, legendary head coach for the Green Bay Packers, also coached the New York Giants. And he said this, and it spoke to me. Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. And I thought that was brilliant. Vince Lombardi with the inspirational quote. So I have to credit the late, great Vince Lombardi. That's true. It's not always about perfection, but as long as we're trying, that's where the excellence comes in.
Absolutely, I 100% agree with you. And at this time, everyone, gonna throw it over to Tyler Peters to announce our next review of the week.
It's my honor to announce the review of the week. Miss Luann Schuler recommends the Standing Strong podcast. She writes, "This podcast is great. The format allows individuals to share their experiences with the intention of helping others. The positive messages and encouragement is a refreshing change from the negative influences that surround us every day."
Wow, Tyler, what an amazing review by Luann. She is my aunt, so thank you so much, Aunt Luann, for that incredible review. These reviews that we've been receiving on our social media page, Tyler, has been phenomenal and mind blowing. What do you think of all the reviews this podcast is getting?
I think it's wonderful that you're getting so many of these reviews, Waylon, and it just shows you it is speaking to people, in their hearts, their minds, their spirits. I mean, it is relatable. The topics that you talk about, you and Ashley, and your great guest, and I'm just so privileged to be able to do it again, to read off another just stellar review.
Before we continue on, would you like to promote your podcast?
I would. The podcast, you can find them at DDP Productions on Spotify, Apple, Red Circle, all the normal suspects as far as podcasts go. The name of the programs are Tyler Talks Music, Tyler's Takedowns. One is about wrestling. It talks everything from modern day wrestling to the old school form of professional wrestling. And then with music, it covers a lot more of the retro type music from the 80s and 70s. But who knows? We may touch upon some modern day music because that's what it's about in the general terms. Music. So just check out Tyler Talks Music and Tyler's Takedowns on DDP Productions. The feed is a part of SJP World Media. Got to shout them out. What a great team over there. And I'm just so blessed to be a part of the team and on their network and have my own feed. So go check it out.
Awesome, amazing. Yeah, you guys, his podcast is incredible. So please check them out. If you're a huge music fan or a wrestling fan, you are gonna love his podcast.
Thank you, Waylon.
You're welcome. It's my honor to help promote them. Today's guest for the 75th episode is none other than a former manager of mine, Alisha Renee. How awesome is it gonna be to talk to Alisha?
It's going to be a terrific time because I can't wait to meet Alicia. And I know you've had a previous connection with her, and I just can't wait to relive your all's memories, the history, and get a chance to ask her some questions myself. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be another thrilling interview, thanks to Waylon and Ashley and standing strong, and with me stepping in for Ashley this time again. So I'm looking forward to it. Alicia will bring it. She'll be a just incredible guest.
Absolutely, 100%. Are you ready, Tyler, for the 75th episode?
I am ready and I cannot wait. The anticipation is getting to me, Waylon.
Me too, so let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back, get your snacks and drinks ready, and enjoy Alicia Renee's episode of Standing Strong. Here is Steve Fox with her introduction.
Welcome back to Standing Strong. Today is a special episode for us because we're celebrating our 75th guest, and we couldn't be happier to have someone who meant so much to so many people. Joining us today is Alisha Renee, a former Walmart assistant manager who truly loved what she did and the people she worked with. Alisha served as Waylon's overnight manager and was known for being understanding, hardworking, down-to-earth, reliable, and genuinely caring leader. She created an environment where associates felt comfortable, supported, and valued, and she's been deeply missed by many since leaving. Due to health challenges, Alisha had to step away from Walmart, but she used that time to focus on her health and what matters most, her family. Alisha loves traveling and spending quality time with her family and friends. Waylon and Ashley are truly honored to welcome Alisha Renee as their 75th guest on Standing Strong. Alisha, we're so glad you're here with us today.
Wow, Steve, thank you for that incredible introduction. Welcome, Alicia Renee, to the 75th episode.
Let's celebrate 75! Woo woo! Woo woo!
Awesome.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you so much.
You're
How
welcome.
are you doing, Alicia?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I am doing well. It's just mind blown to see that I'm on episode 75.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm so glad for you. I'm happy for you.
Now we're gonna go back down memory lane, and because it's the 75th episode, I am gonna have Tyler Peters start this off.
Oh, okay. Well, it's great to meet you, Alicia. This is an honor. I want to thank Waylon as well. I just wanted to start this off with this question. Describe your experience connecting with people, because when we were doing our research and Waylon was giving me your bio, I could tell immediately that you seem to be that kind of person that just everybody gravitates toward. Like you've got that gift of connecting with people. That's why I wanted to ask the question.
I think the biggest thing for me is that regardless of who you meet, you just have to put yourself in their shoes. So for me, I don't judge people by how they look, how they sound, how they act. I judge them on the person that they are. So I try and find interests, hobbies, things that they like, and then that way we can become like connected on a different level than just acquaintances. We may have something in common, we might have the same interests. So I think that's a really good way to connect with people. You know, try and be positive and have a smile on your face, because people would rather talk to somebody who's in a good mood and happy than not so much.
You're right. I mean, definitely, you don't want to approach somebody that's got a frown all the time. Now, they may have their
Right.
reasons, but it's definitely you can tell they're more approachable when they're smiling, they're in a better mood, they're happy. So that's a
Right,
wonderful response.
exactly.
I'll throw it to Waylon, but I appreciate the
Okay.
answer. I wanted to ask the
Sure.
question. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler, for that incredible question. Now, Alicia, have you ever experienced bullying in your life? And how did it affect you emotionally and mentally at that time? What would you say to someone who is going through that right now?
It's a long way back. We're talking high school for me. And that was probably in 1990s is when that would have happened to me, bullying. I had an older girl in my class who really bullied me a lot due to my weight. And I had a really, really hard time with it for a while until I went to my guidance counselor. And when I went to my guidance counselor, she explained to me that people bully other people because they have things that they haven't dealt with in their lives. So, in order to take the pain away from themselves, they bully people. And once I learned that, I mean, I was young. I was probably only 14 at the time, but once I learned that, that really helped me. So when she bullied me and she did the things that she did to me, I just looked to my friends to feel better about it, and it really worked. But in the long run, she was dealing with the same thing. She had weight issues as well,
Uh huh.
and I think she just did that to me in order to make herself feel better. Looking back, I really wish I would have handled it different, but as a little teenager, I just, kind of went inside myself at that time.
Uh
But
huh.
I'm glad I reached out, and I'm glad I went to my guidance counselor for it, because I think that really helped. And I think when we get in those situations, that's probably the best thing to do is go towards a teacher or go towards a guidance counselor or somebody that has more experience that in those type of situations.
Absolutely, 100%. If someone's listening to this interview right now that is being bullied and feels like they have no support, what advice or encouragement would you give them to help them get through it?
I think the biggest thing is to look within yourself. The biggest thing for me is that you have to have a positive outlook on yourself, but I also think reaching out, whether it be spiritually, with your family, with your friends, if you're feeling, that somebody is taking away your happiness or your shine, like I like to call it, you have to reach out. And if you can't reach out, then reach within, talk to God, talk to, a higher power than yourself and look towards yourself to feel better. That's
Absolutely.
what I had to do. So,
Great
thank you.
advice. You're welcome. Looking back now, what kind of support do you wish someone had given you during that time?
I think the people who saw the bullying happening, I think if they would have helped and either stopped it or talked to us individually and actually addressed the issue, it would have made a huge impact. So I think that would be the biggest thing. If the people that were around would have said, "Hey, why are you doing that? What's going on? Why do you feel that way?" I think that would have really helped the situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler, do you have anything you would like to add?
I would just add this. I mean, I love your all's dialogue, and like Alicia was talking about, a support system, just leaning on other people. And it's normally when it's bullying, she's right. It's insecurities from the other person that's doing the bullying. So I just enjoy the fact that we're opening up the discussion. And I mean, it's pretty much well said with what you all are saying. I just wanted to add a little bit to it. And that's all it is. I mean, it's just good stuff. It's very empowering and it's encouraging, and that's why people love your show, Waylon, and with Ashley and with guests like Alicia, and it's just inspirational. So I want to thank you all because this is helping not only me but others who tune into this show.
Thank you, Tyler.
Oh, you're welcome.
Now, Alicia, have you ever struggled with anxiety or overwhelming worry? And what helped you manage the moments when it felt difficult to cope?
Wow, that's a lot. I think when I had anxiety when I was younger, I actually used the anxiety to help me become a better person. So when I had high anxiety, I would exercise, I would work harder, I would, I would go dance, I would go, run around the park, whatever it may be. But as I got older, and when I left Walmart, um, the anxiety that I had became life changing. And for me, that's when I had to lean towards therapists, counselors, doctors, and just get a handle on the anxiety, because it was so bad at times I couldn't leave my house. I couldn't, you know, go to a grocery store. I couldn't go visit my friends because of all these things happening, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't even know it was anxiety at the time. And I think I have FND. I don't know. It's functional neurological disorder. And once I found out that I had that and the reasons why, the anxiety started to subside. But I think once you have anxiety, you have to figure it out on your own how to cope with anxiety, because I'm going to tell you right now, I live with anxiety every single day. You don't always It doesn't always leave and it doesn't always stay, but you
Right.
have to find a way to cope with it. And once you find a way to cope with it, I do a lot of grounding techniques. I do a lot of sensory techniques, because for me that takes me out of the situation that I'm in right then and resets my brain. So that's usually what I do.
Nice. Awesome. That's great advice. Hopefully that helps someone out and is listening to this podcast. I am going to throw it back over to Tyler to ask a number one of his questions.
Thank you, Waylon. Alicia, I wanted to ask you: is there any favorite traveling destinations, or maybe places you haven't visited that you would like to? Just be interested to know some of those areas because trust me, we all have those that we want to go visit. So I'd be curious to get your response to that.
Um, well, I think my favorite place that I've gone so far is Hawaii. I absolutely love Hawaii. I love the Kona Island the best. Um, when I visited there a couple years ago now, I just felt like I was at home. Hawaii is a magical place. It's beautiful, it's peaceful, and the people have such a sense of community and family in Hawaii. It's amazing. I've never seen it anywhere else I've ever traveled. So, if I would recommend any place to travel, it would be Hawaii. The places that I want to go to Europe. Um, I don't know when. It's probably going to be a while yet, but I want to plan it for at least 2 weeks so I can go over there. I really want to see France. I want to see the Eiffel Tower, and I'd love to see Germany. So those are the places I'm hoping to get to. They're on my bucket list.
I hope you get to them because all those places sound just fantastic. And one of the places I want to visit too is Australia one day. That has always been on my list. So
I would love to go
hopefully,
there as well.
yes, ma'am. It would be amazing. And I'll throw it back to Waylon. I just wanted to see, maybe get into hobbies and maybe places you would like to visit. And thank you for the account on Hawaii because that's a place I still haven't been. And now that you're describing it, it just gets us more excited to go. Oh, I need to go. Where's the next
Yes, it's
vacation?
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yes,
heard
ma'am.
so much great things about Hawaii, and it's beautiful with the sunsets and everything people post, and
Yes,
the
it's amazing.
islands and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Now, Alicia,
Yes.
for someone who feels trapped in anxiety and doesn't know how to calm their mind, what steps or words of encouragement would you share with them?
Um, I think the easiest thing I can share is a sensory technique, and it's called 5 4 3 2 1, and that is the one that I go to the most. Um, and what it is you use your senses in order to get yourself out of anxiety. So, for example, if I'm headed to the grocery store and I seem to get anxiety and I seem to really uneasy in the car, um, I do 5 things that I can see. So I say to myself, okay, I can see a tree, I can see a car, I can see a house, I can see the sky. And then it's 4 things that I can hear. And then I listen and I can hear dogs bark and I can hear birds. And then it's 3 things that I can feel. So I can feel that I'm in my chair, I can feel that my feet are on the ground. Um, 2 things um, that I can touch around me. So if I'm in my car, my steering wheel, or my gear shifter. And the last thing is things that I can taste. So if I have gum or hard candy, I pop that in my mouth, and then all of that together like resets the brain and puts you back into the present place that you're in. And that usually helps me. That's like my one of my biggest things that I do.
That's a great advice. I probably will have to try that step.
Yeah, I mean, it really works for me, and I don't always do them all right at the same time, or, I don't do 5, I don't do 4 all the time, but whatever it is that makes me feel better at the time, that's really what I do. I try to just distract myself and put myself back in my body so the anxiety kind of subsides.
Right, absolutely. All right, everyone. At this time, we will be back with the 75th episode after this commercial break.
Waylon and Ashley will be back with the Standing Strong podcast after this break. It's my pleasure to introduce myself, Tyler Peters, as the voiceover for this commercial. I was the former co host for this podcast. We hope you're enjoying this episode so far. Waylon and Ashley are 2 friends being a light and supportive leader for our daily life struggles. No one should feel alone or worthless. Let's be the change the world needs together. And I'll add this, it's an inspirational program when you're talking about standing strong. And as a former co host, I can vouch for this. Now let's hear a quote from the new co host, Ashley, beginning with quote 1. I am resilient. I try my best. I value my life. I am not perfect. I never give up. I am empathetic. I am a warrior, ready to conquer. I am not broken. I am loving. I take things one day at a time. I am independent. I am human. I'm a survivor. Quote 2. I don't know what you're going through, but it's going to be okay. The windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror for a reason, because what's in front of you is so much more important than what's behind you, quoted by the famed singer Jelly Roll. Here's some podcasts that inspire Waylon and all of us, beginning with Chasing Glory with Lillian Garcia, Gall TV with SoCal Val, Mickey James, and Lisa Marie Varon, the Culture Shocked podcast with Corey, Mike, and Adrian. And here's some podcasts that I host. Tyler's Takedowns and Tyler Talks Music are a part of DTP Productions in association with SJP World Media. They're all just great programs. As you can see, Waylon and Ashley are on this powerful mission in helping other people know they are worth it. I'm Tyler Peters. Now back to the Standing Strong podcast.
All right, we are back with the 75th episode. Wow, Alisha. One, you have shared been mind blown with great tips and advice.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Welcome. Now continue on to the topic we was discussing before commercial break. If someone listening right now is feeling anxious or overwhelmed, what simple grounding exercise could they try in that moment?
One that I like to do, not always in Pennsylvania in the middle of winter, but I like to go outside in my bare feet and stand in the grass. That is something for me that completely takes me out of whatever I'm into and just puts me in a whole different place. So that is a big one. Another one for me is getting into water, getting into the shower, putting my hands under the faucet, whether it be warm water or cool water, because it changes, like, I don't know, the sensory of it changes my mindset. So those things seem to help me. Another one would be, popping a piece of candy in my mouth like a watermelon or a bright fresh flavor like lemon. Those ones always kind of like, take that the harshness off of anxiety and make
Right.
it easier. So that's usually what I do.
Great advice. Tyler, is there anything you would like to add?
Yeah, I would just like to say I need to add some of what Alicia is bringing up. Just as you were talking about, Waylon, it would help me, and I think a lot of us that battle with anxiety. Because I gotta admit, it's good to be open about this stuff. I think the more we leave it closed in, that's when we're gonna have more issues. It's better that we're doing this because it's like therapy. It's good for us. And I relate to that, just the nature, sometimes just feeling the grass. I mean, like you said, for your
Mm.
sensory, uh, for that, it's just, it's remarkable. So I want to thank you. This is just, I'm just already in a better mood. And I know I can't describe it. It's just great being on here.
Thank you, Tyler. I am going to give it back to Tyler with one of a. Hold on. Let me end this out. Thank you, Tyler. What an amazing question you have just shared with us. Now, I am going to give it back to Tyler with another one of his questions.
Yes, Alicia, I wanted to ask you, tell me more about how you met Waylon, because that to me interests me, with going back to Walmart stuff, because I've got to hear this, how you met him.
Okay. Oh, geez. All right, Waylon, you might have to help me with this a little bit. I'm pretty sure Waylon and I had worked together quite a while ago now.
Yep.
But I believe Waylon started on overnights at Walmart with me, and I was an overnight, pretty new manager at the time. Does that sound about
Mhm.
right, Waylon?
Yes, yep. Because
Yeah.
I was on day shift, I was on maintenance, and
Yep.
then I did that for a year and a half, you came to day shift just for like a couple of days, and then that's when they kicked you to overnights as the permanent overnight. And I'm like, I don't want to be on day shift anymore. So that's when I'm like, hey, you're the new night manager. Is there any openings?
Yeah, and Waylon and I worked really well together on overnights. I enjoyed my time at Walmart immensely. The people made Walmart great. I have to say that. The associates and the friends and the people that we worked with, and it, it's like a family. And I absolutely miss every I'm gonna cry. Sorry. I miss everyone that I worked with. I wish I could still work there. I really, really enjoyed working with the crew of people that we had on overnights when we worked together. I really miss
Y-
everybody. I really do. It
Yep.
was it was like my family. I don't have kids, so like I cared about every single person that I worked with. Um and it's just really hard that I can't do that anymore. So
Yep.
I just
It's
really,
okay to
really miss
get
it.
emotional.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
really
it is.
miss it. I really do. I really miss, seeing you guys and, learning about your lives. And I know that wasn't our whole purpose to be there, but for me, it wasn't just a job. It was my family. It was my friends, and I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed learning about everybody's families. I enjoyed learning about everybody's, work habits and how everybody was, and just the parties that we threw for each other and the
Yeah.
potlucks that we did and the at the nightly meetings, just, hanging out with everybody and just telling everybody, just the littlest stuff that happened in the day and just sharing that with people was amazing to me.
Yeah.
So I really
And
miss
then
it.
yeah, and then those days you had certain associates, including me,
Mhm.
decorate for the holiday, decorate the windows and all that. It was
Yeah, it
fun.
was yeah, it was they called it like retailtainment and they called it all this stuff, but to me, giving you guys other than just work to do every single day was
Hmm.
fun for me. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going in and, I mean, some days I ran the Zamboni and ran around the store helping maintenance. Other days I
Hmm.
went and, jumped in and helped you in electronics or helped you
Yeah.
in grocery just to find out how you were doing and how things were going in your life because I cared
Hmm.
about it. And I don't know. It's just I think the people that I met at Walmart were a blessing to me. And not seeing them and being around them all the time now is it's very hard for me. And it took me a lot of years. I've been retired for 10 years now.
Yep.
So, and it still upsets me. So, I think
Yep.
it's just I'm so glad that I met you. I'm so glad that I got to work with an amazing group of people. And um, even though like we've all moved on, I think everybody still has a sense of, back in the day at Walmart, just the amazing group of people that we had. And
Right.
I'm lucky that I can say that.
Yep. Absolutely. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying anything bad about
Right.
how it is going today, but at that
Right.
time when we had you, yes, things had to get done at a certain time, but
Right.
you was always there to manage and get it done on a friendly manner, and it got done. Everything got done when you was there, and I think that's how people loved you so much because you took the time to listen and see people's weak and strengths, and that's
Yeah,
why
you have
everyone
to.
loved you so much.
Yeah, I think as a manager anywhere, you have to know that about your team and you have to be aware of, there's people that are struggling and you're not going to go, give them 15 pounds to do in a night when they're struggling at home or they're struggling,
Hmm.
at work, whatever it may be. You have to, Sometimes people feel better than other days, and you just
Yep.
have to know people. And I think, like Tyler was asking me about connecting with people, I think once you do that and you have a group of people that you see, every day, or at least 5 times a week, you learn that about each other, and it just makes the whole process easier and more manageable.
Yep, absolutely. Now, when you first left, you was on leave. You didn't expect to leave, but when I talked to you on social media and you said, I hate to say this to you, but with my doctors and my health situation, I have to quit. I have to retire from retail. And a lot of people, and I'm not gonna say her name, but when a certain manager that a lot of people despise
Uh,
told us you was not coming back, a lot of people even quit, went to day shift, or they was just done. They wasn't gonna pull up with that. And a lot of people were just mad that you had to leave, and a lot of people was upset. I was bummed. I know I
I
went back to day shift, but
Yeah. I wish I would have been able to come back and to tell you guys what happened, but
mhm,
it pretty much came down to the fact that I couldn't really talk, I couldn't walk, I couldn't see. I mean, I
mhm,
had a lot of health issues like at one time, so there was no way that I could come back. I couldn't even, talking about anxiety, I couldn't even go back into Walmart
yeah,
for almost 2 years, almost 2 years, and then I had to go
mhm,
into Walmart with um my therapist, because that was like my family, and my family was gone overnight, so it was a
mhm.
big deal.
And then I knew that before COVID came, you,
Hmm.
me, and Marsha was gonna go hang out and go to Bob Evans and catch up,
Right,
and then the
right,
road got shut down.
right. Yep, I remember that.
So,
Yep,
yep. Yeah, it
yep.
was an amazing time having you as a manager. You taught me a lot, more than any other managers has ever helped
Oh,
me.
well, I appreciate
So,
that, Waylon.
yep. And I'm not saying anything bad with the managers.
Right,
Everyone has
right,
their own personality, but you was
right.
just the one that everyone connected with. So,
Well, I'm glad. I'm happy about that.
so at least even though you had to step away and retire, at
Hmm.
least you made an impact on so many associates' life during your time at Walmart.
And I'm glad I did. I'm glad that you said that, because I questioned myself a lot when I first got sick, that if I did that, or, if people were going to remember me. And, I think you just kind of go through that when you have such a life-changing thing happen to you.
Yeah,
Um, and I think now that you're saying, I'm sorry, I'm so emotional.
you're fine.
Um, it's just amazing to me. I feel truly, truly blessed that a whole group of people that, from all different backgrounds and all different places and all the different things, all, you know, came together and accomplished something every single day. I think it's just, we move on from those things. I get it, but
Right.
I just think it's a blessing that we were all together at the time that we were together. That's the
Yeah,
that's the only way that I
absolutely.
can put it.
The holidays was always fun when we had KFC. You even got to cook for us, and
Yeah.
and a lot of us are said some managers they did good with food and others did not. But everyone
Yeah.
always was like, we missed how Alicia cooked the pizza.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
those
probably
were
I
some
probably
great
broke some
times.
rules back then, cooking that stuff and doing all that stuff, I'm sure, but we won't talk
Right.
about it. But
Yeah,
it was fun. It was fun. It was a great
it
time. It
was.
was, you I think about it, you get paid to have fun. That's when I used to go to work, I didn't want to go to work and have a horrible, horrible day. I wanted to go to work and I wanted to have fun, and I wanted everyone to feel that way. So,
And like attendance. We hardly ever had call logs when you was a manager there. And then after you left and stopped went a little bit downhill, it's like
Mhm.
everyone calling all along on nighttime.
Aw.
And it's
Well,
just
I'm
wow.
sorry about that. I wish
Yeah,
it would have
but
been better.
we talked throughout the years about that and stuff.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but like I said to you back then when I first found out, you have to focus on yourself, forget the rest, get
Right,
yourself
right.
better, and then God has
Mhm.
a new chapter in your life.
Right. And I have, and I you know, I do a lot of peer support now for, people with mental health and
Yeah,
anxiety, and I do a lot of stuff with that now, and I absolutely love it. So,
yeah, I'm proud of you. You have
well, thank you.
overcame a lot in your
Yeah.
life since having health issues, leaving mama. You even got to work with your mom when the store was in Cranberry. So
Yep.
it was
Yep.
neat. It was a
Yep.
nice little store that you guys did
Yeah.
together.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Welcome. Tyler, do you have any more questions related to what you want to discuss with Alicia?
I think that's covered it. I just want to say this very quickly. Thank you so much for opening up. And it's great that when people can just let their feelings be known. And I can tell from just asking that question how close you and Waylon and the whole story was. I love how you all established a fun working environment and also, but it was a family. I mean, I
Right.
just, I was sitting back here just listening, enjoying it because I never want anybody to be sad. That's not what I mean. But
Right.
I love hearing the genuine response. It's just so real. It's honest. It's hard to describe it and put into words. But I just want to thank you for the response and thank Waylon. And I loved hearing how you all recounted your relationship too, because I learn something when I come onto this show as concerning a being a co-host. So I just appreciate it. So I'll throw it back to Waylon. I just wanted to
All
say
right.
that just real briefly.
Thank you, Tyler. Now, Alicia, how do you find the balance between distracting yourself in a healthy way and still addressing what you're going through emotionally?
I am a very, very um time managed person. I write myself lists. If I have a task that I'm gonna do, I give myself 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it may be. If I'm gonna clean my kitchen, I'm gonna clean my kitchen for 30 minutes, and I'm gonna get done what I can get done in 30 minutes, and that's gonna be all of it. And I don't go back to it. I don't because what was happening was before I was getting completely overwhelmed cleaning my house and all of this stuff. So now I'd say, okay, I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to spend 25 minutes in the store and then I'm going to leave. And if I don't get what I don't get, I don't get it. I'm not hard on myself anymore. We're all human. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to forget stuff. So I think that's the biggest thing. If I'm on my phone, distracting myself, playing a game, whatever it may be, I give myself an hour. If I'm sad and I need to cry, I give myself 10 minutes. I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be, yelling, screaming, crying, whatever it may be, but I'm going to do it for 10 minutes and then I'm going to get on with my day. That's how I get through my day. If I'm happy, okay, be happy as long as I can be happy in the day. If I become sad, I give myself a little time to be sad, but then I try and move on. So
Right.
that's I have to have time management in my life. Like I manage my life in time frames. That's how I do it. So
Nice. Great advice. Great advice. One is one message or thought you repeat to yourself during difficult times that helps you keep going.
I'm going to say I love myself is the biggest thing because not everybody around me loves themselves. Not everybody is happy with themselves. And for me, with everything that I've gone through, I know now that I love myself. I love where I am in life, and there's obstacles everywhere, but I think loving me has helped other people love me, other people want to be closer to me, things like that. So I look at myself. If I don't like something about myself, I try and change it, I try and fix it. But at the end of the day, you live with yourself. If you don't love yourself, how is anyone else going to love you? And that's how I
Right.
feel about it. So every day I say, "Good morning, I love you. Have a great day." That's what
I
I
love
do in the
that.
mirror. So,
Nice. Hey, yep. If it helps you and it makes you
yeah,
happy, do it.
yep,
There's no a shame of talking to yourself in the mail. So,
absolutely.
Right.
Yep,
Tyler, do you have anything to add?
I was just going to say it was well articulated. I mean, because what Alicia was expressing is true. I mean, I didn't think of it in that way, but just giving yourself a pep talk like, hey, you can do this. Be positive. Don't let all the negativity or doubt get in your mind. Just already try to overcome it. And that can
right.
go a long way. So I just wanted to add that real briefly.
Thank you so much, Tyler. Now, Alicia, when someone opens up to you about their struggles, what do you think is the most important thing a friend or a supporter can do in that moment for people who want to support a loved one struggling with mental health but does not know what to say? What advice would you give them?
Don't try and fix anyone. Don't try and fix them. Do not give them solutions. Don't do any of that. Be there with them, sit with them, talk with them, but do not share solutions to their problems. You can give them some direction, but don't try and fix people because it's not yours to fix. Support them, explain how much you care for them, but don't try and hand out solutions to other people's lives. That's the biggest thing that I can tell you. Um, if they're having a bad day, say, "I'm so sorry you're having a bad day. What can I do for you? How can I help you?" But don't just throw yourself in there and be like, "It's time to do it. Let's get it done," because that doesn't work. And people get offended by that, and it can also hurt them mentally. It can
Right.
cause other things to happen. So I think the best thing is to be there for them, listen to them, ask them if they would like your advice or your help, but don't try and fix people. They have to fix themselves. Is the biggest thing that I can say.
Well said. Amen.
Thank you.
Welcome. Tyler, do you have anything you would like to add?
Just I just wanted to say great advice because we can only fix ourselves and I love how you said it. We can be a support system, but that doesn't mean we're going to be able to always get through to them. So it's
Hmm.
better just to, like you said, maybe give them direction, but don't get too involved because
Right.
we're only going to be able to fix ourselves, and that's something that's comes with our relationship with God and how He can help repair our lives. We can't always do what God can do, obviously. So we need to learn from those things. So I just love how you put it. I'm I'm learning something all the time with these programs, so thank you. It was, just well said.
Thank you.
Absolutely, Tyler. Now, Alicia, have you ever had someone show up for you during a difficult time? What did they do that made the biggest difference for you?
I'm gonna say that my friends honestly make the biggest impact in my life because they listen, they are a shoulder to cry on, and they, give me their advice, but don't judge me. And I think that That is a huge thing for me because, after leaving Walmart and, having um conversion disorder, it's that's my biggest thing. I always think someone's judging me. I always think someone's judging me by how I walk or how I talk or whatever it may be. And I think that's the biggest thing. Just for me, it's my friends and my family just supporting me and understanding that not every day is going to be wonderful, but in the long run, you know, there is hope and it is going to get better. I think that's the biggest thing. So,
Absolutely. God doesn't give us anything that we cannot handle. There is always gonna be better days. That's why we have to learn, accept, and move on and focus for the future.
Yeah, amen.
exactly.
Yep, 100%. Alicia, if someone's listening feels alone right now, what would you want them to know today?
I think the biggest thing is, if you're feeling alone and you need to talk to someone, um, the suicide hotline, if you feel alone. We have the warm line where we live in Venango County. And just pick up the phone and call someone, call a friend, call a family member, um, or just a stranger, like the warm line. I think it's called the Point down in Oil City. They have, an open door policy pretty much. You can walk in, you can talk to the people in there, but we are never alone. We are always with ourselves. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned. If you feel alone, hug yourself. Um, that's the biggest thing I can tell someone because there's always people out there for you, whether it's a stranger or a family member, but
Right,
yourself, honestly, is the biggest thing I can say. You're never alone. You're physically
100%.
alone, but you're never alone.
Standing strong is basically about letting
Yeah.
them know that they are not alone. And it
Hmm.
is okay to ask for help. Don't
Oh,
be
absolutely.
ashamed of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've asked for help more than I could ever imagine, and it's always gotten me to a better place.
Tyler, you have anything to add?
I'm learning to open up more to people. I know that sounds wild, me doing podcasts like yourself, Waylon, but it's true. We all keep certain things hidden, and I understand that. But at times, it is great to communicate whatever the issue is, and I am starting to comprehend it more with other people, including yourselves and family members as well. And it's important, like Alicia was stating, if you feel alone, just yeah, don't be afraid to talk to somebody, pray about it. There's always a way out. And if more people would grasp that, I just pray they will because there's hope is what I'm getting at. It's just we have to remember it. So I wanted to say that because that spoke to me. I've not always been very receptive all the time. And that may come as a surprise, but it's true. I have to be honest. And with these shows and with in general conversations, it's helping. I notice I'm just having to grow in it, and so thank you. I really admire this, and it helps all of us.
Well said, Tyler. It's great to have you
Oh, thank
back
you.
for yet another episode. And now we are gonna flip the table around, and at this time, Alicia gets the opportunity to ask me, Tyler, or both of us some questions.
All right. For Tyler, I think the biggest thing is since I hear your accent, what's the biggest thing you like about Tennessee?
The biggest thing I like about Tennessee is it's got it's got a lot of great country places. Speaking of nature, but it's also I like the urban areas too. I actually grew up in the city, just a suburb, but I've always been one to kind of be in between, where you're close enough to town, but you're still out enough. I've just always that's what I appreciate about Tennessee. It's similar to Pennsylvania, a lot of the states in the U.S., but what I like about Tennessee is just everybody is, for the most part, nice too. Most people know your name. It's just a great community. So I think that's universal. And I like the music. I know I'm close to Nashville, but it's not just country either, though. I like a variety, but definitely country. And it's got a spot in my heart. But I like a lot of genres, and also like my church, my family, friends like Waylon, and getting to make new friends with these guys like you, Alicia. So it's really hard because Tennessee it should be an easy answer, but there's so
Hmm.
much to like about this state. I'm going to be a little biased. There's a lot to like about Tennessee. I mean, it's the food, it's the people, it's the community. It's just it's a neighbor helping a neighbor. I mean, it's just some of those simplistic examples that I think appeal to everybody when they come to the state.
Right. I agree with you, and that's why I'm planning to retire there.
Well, there you go.
All right, Waylon. I guess for you, really the question that I have is, what is your fondest memory of working with me?
Um, your positivity, your kindness, and your encouragement to be my best self and just do the best I can. And you always told me, yes, things needs to get done by a certain time, but don't have that in your head the entire night. Because if you have this in your head the entire time, you're not gonna be focused into getting your job done. So you always said, just pretend I did not give you a time. Just do your best. That's all I ask for. It's just your kindness, your positivity, and your encouragement and your amazing advice has helped my
Oh,
time during Walmart, along with other associates along the way. So,
oh, well, I'm so
and then,
glad.
yeah, and then just getting to build a friendship with you outside of Walmart since you have left.
Oh,
So,
all right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, hon.
you're welcome. It's my honor. You have any other questions for me,
No, not
Tyler?
really.
Before we wrap up this episode, I have one last final question, and it is looking back at all the challenges you have faced in life, how have those experiences shaped the person you are today, and how do they inspire you to help other people?
I think for me, becoming ill and having to leave and having to retire was the biggest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. But in the process of healing and growing and learning about myself again, and just the whole process of all of it, and the therapy and the counselors and my friends and my family, um, just taking the time to stop and understand what people say and understand that people are there to help and to support. Because I think sometimes I got it in my mind that, I wasn't good enough, or people were judging me for some reason. And then looking back on it now, none of that was really happening, but for me it was. So it was my perception on it. So I take the time now to keep myself in the situation that I'm in and in the present. And that now helps me realize that even though I'm having the anxiety or I'm having these racing thoughts in my brain on what's happening right at the moment, it's not always truly happening. Or it's not, I guess, your perception of what's happening is not always correct. And I've learned from that. So now I look back on things and I have learned from things. And I think I live a quieter and simpler life because of it. That's the best I can explain it.
Very inspiring. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Tyler, at this time, is there a final question you would like to ask Alicia?
The only thing I would ask, and it's pretty much been answered, but I can tell explain the importance of caring for others. So I just want to hear your explanation because you do it so well. That would be the only other question I would have.
It's not hard for me. I've really done it my entire life, caring for others. I think the biggest thing is that even though you put yourself first in things, you always have to put yourself into other people's shoes. Not everybody's raised the same way, not everybody learns the same way, not everybody perceives things the way that you do, and just slowing down and actually listening and connecting, like I said, with asking about them, asking about their hobbies, asking about their family, asking about their interests, and genuinely being in that place at that time really lets people know that you're there to support them and that you care about them. I think that's the biggest thing. Stop the phone, stop all the music, stop whatever it is, and genuinely connect with people in quiet and just listen to what they're saying. It makes a huge difference.
Well said. And I appreciate the
Absolutely.
answer. So, Waylon, I'll throw it back to you.
Well, Alicia, I want to thank you so much for being the 75th guest.
I appreciate it. Woo woo! Thank you guys so much. That was so fun.
You're all welcome. And now, everyone, for everything standing strong, visit the official website at standingstrongpodcast.com. And we will see you all on the 76th episode of Standing Strong.
Thank you for watching the Standing Strong podcast with Waylon and Ashley. And now, a great shout out for our all-star team behind the scenes. Standing Strong's opening and commercial commentator, Tyler Peters. And our very own guest introducer, Steve Fox. And last but not least, our musical composer, Austin Sire, aka Ace Hire of Daydreamers Entertainment. This message has been brought to you by Standing Strong with Waylon and Ashley. Stand strong and spread positivity wherever you go.